Hi fellow traders, this is Joe Gruender from investorshelp.net. Just doing a short video. I wanted to show you some price action on Alibaba Group Holdings, BABA. As you know, they came out with some excellent revenue growth. However, their earnings wasn't so good. So what happened earlier this morning, there was a sell-off, as you can see here. An initial sell-off at the opening. Let me get all this in perspective. Price went down from the previous close. Let me back it up some more for you. As you can see, the previous close was way up here, somewhere around 104.80 if I remember correctly. Then with the good news on revenue but bad news on earnings, the price sold off before market open as soon as the earnings were announced before the market. And as you can see, it went up and then it gradually started to roll over. So I had already sold my first order that was here somewhere near this resistance point, but I was still watching it because I believe that it's going to go higher for the day. So as we can see over here, this is a 1 minute chart. It's really more for day trading. Over here I was watching on this 1 minute chart. As you can see, price action was having a difficult time getting through right here. And so I put an order in to buy on the breakout, which it was subsequently bought. Now I only bought 200 shares, just more as a demonstration for my daughter Cindy, who is New Cyber Cindy, or I should say New Trader Cindy, who's learning about the markets. But anyway, so I bought a couple hundred shares here. It did, as soon as it broke out, it went higher, and then it subsequently retraced all the way back down to basically where I bought it. I have not sold it because I'm anticipating that it's going to break out yet today. We still have about 3 hours before the market close. As you'll notice here, this is California time. It's not East Coast time. It's not market time. That's California time. So what I'm going to do, I think I'll pause the video and we'll see if price can eventually break out here. Here is, if I remember correctly, let me go to a 5 minute. I think that's the high of the day. No, it isn't. Yes, it's high of the day, but it does not include these excursions to even higher prices prior to market open. So the right here where I drew the red line at 104.96, it is the high for the day. Now I anticipate, like I mentioned a minute ago, that we're going to break out and the price is going to break above this 104.96 and move up to 105.23, which is the 127.2 Fibonacci level. And I have another target level up here which is very close to where it hit here before market open. So we have another target up there at 106.41, and we'll see what happens. So let me expand the chart for you and see if we can zero in a little better onto the price action. And let me move this like this. I know this is getting in your way here, the Fibonacci levels, but they are important levels, so for now I'm going to leave them on. We're in an upward trend. In fact, for the whole day, it's definitely up. We can see that we're up. Well, you can't see it here. Maybe if I pull this over. Sorry, it's blacked out right now. But we could look over here, and we're up $3.01 at almost 3%, 2.94%. Down here, I have the bid and ask. This is level 2, so the bids are at 104.76. The ask over here at 104.79. I put time and sales on my right column, and as you can see, this is what the price is going off on right now. And it's a pretty nice chart. Now, of course, this is a 5-minute. I've been using, just for day trading, a 1-minute chart. So I'll put up a 1 minute, 1 day, 1 minute, so you can get a perspective on that. And it'll actually give you a little better picture of what's going on. So I'm going to have to move things around here. That's part of the frustrations, or the difficulty of always changing the charts. There's another way, of course, of doing it and having multiple charts, which I do, but I want to see here. We get a little better picture. Sorry for all this jumping around, but I want to get it there. There you go. Okay, so let's see if it comes down and turns around somewhere around the 50% retracement, which is 104.55. In fact, what I'm going to do again, let me go here, and let's see if I can bring it down a little more for you. And there we can see a little better in what the current price action is. So I'm anticipating that price will be turning very soon, and once again will start to move up. However, of concern here is a lower high. What happened here? We had a high, we have a lower high, so that's not good news. Although we're still currently operating off of a higher low, a higher low. Does this all sound very confusing, doesn't it? I would have much preferred, of course, is if this were a higher high. When it started to reverse and head up, if it had gotten even just a little bit higher than this, it would have been a more powerful move, and also gives you a higher probability of price moving higher because it would have been off of a higher high. But now we're operating this low, excuse me, this high is lower. This high is lower than the previous high. You see how that's higher? So we're operating right now off of a lower high. However, let's see what price action on the squeeze. Of course, now we're above the 0 line, which is a good indication. And perhaps it'll be even moving higher. So we're at, sales are going off at 79 cents. 79 cents. We're now at ask. We're now at 80 cents here. 77, a little pullback. In order to move up here and to move above this high, we're going to have to break through this gentle sloping downtrend line. And let's see if we can do it now. It's going to give it a try. Let me expand the chart once again so you can see a little better. Okay, it's hitting right now at that trend line, and there's going to be a tug of war between resistance and support, between buyers and sellers. Naturally, the sellers are going to be selling it at the trend line, and the buyers are going to want to buy upon the break above the trend line. So right now, and it pauses here. It might be in pause for a minute or two, because there's resistance right there. That's a line of resistance, or some people call it a wall of resistance. Sure enough, you see, yeah, the sellers there were stronger than the buyers. So let's see if it can try again. We don't want it to pull back too far, but we do want it to break price. We want price to pull back slightly to this area here and then to reverse up again. And you see, moving, when price moved from all here all the way up to there, it burnt up a lot of energy. But if we can get price now to reverse here to start moving up again, it still has a lot of energy, which could then break through this wall or line of resistance. So let's watch and see if now the buyers can take over and become stronger than the sellers. As we know, there's a bunch of sellers sitting there at that line, and we're going to watch and see what happens. The line is roughly about 82, so right now we're at the line, we're at the resistance point, and once again there's going to be a tug of war between the buyers and the sellers. Let's see who breaks out. Let's see who wins. And I'm hoping, wishing, and praying, of course, that it's time for the buyers to move in here and break that resistance line, that downtrending line. And sure enough, at least they got up there. Now let's see if they can hold it. Nope, they were unable to hold it so far. And sure enough, see, the sellers came in. There's a tug of war right now going on between the buyers and the sellers. If we get another red candle down, that means the sellers won again, but it's still going on. Looks like the sellers are winning. There's more sellers, see, that came in and they're selling. Now we need the buyers to step in on this next bar and take it up, but it looks like the sellers are still there. They're liquidating at 71 cents, 72 cents. In any event, we do not want to go lower than this low. Okay, we have an uptrend line. We can even draw another uptrend line. I don't want to get too many lines, but let's draw a line from here, the bottom of this candle, to the bottom of that candle. So we want this new line. I'll get rid of this one. We want this new line to hold. In other words, we want the buyers to step in as it approaches that line, so that once again we can have a charge upward in hopes and anticipation of breaking that this downtrending trend line. So we need, in the next minute here, we need the buyers to come in. Excuse me. I don't want this video to get too long, but I think many of you who perhaps that you don't day trade, you want to learn some of the logic that goes into this price action. Okay, so once again now the buyers are trying to move in here, but you still have some sellers sitting there, and that's why they can't yet push it up. Also, you notice here we are in a squeeze. That means, if for those of you who are familiar with the John Carter squeeze indicator, that means the Bollinger Bands are within the Keltner channels. So that's usually a decision point. And unfortunately, that means it could go further down and even break this line here. So it's in a squeeze. We're going to have a good move either up or a good, and for me, bad move down. Because from a squeeze you get a powerful move. For instance, you see these red balls over here? Price was in a squeeze. As soon as it came out, look at this violent price movement. So the squeeze indicator, which I'll be putting out a video sometime in the future on how to use the squeeze indicator, it can be a very powerful indicator. So we're still in a squeeze for the last 2 minutes. Remember, this is a 1-minute chart. I'm going to pause it now and see and get back. Okay, so it looks like the buyers moved in. They were unable to break this line here, and of course it did go down very close to this uptrending line. That provided support. Now once again, the buyers are moving in. We're having a tug of war at this downtrending line. And I'm hoping, wishing, and praying again that price will not only move above, it will open. The next candle, the next 1 minute candle, will open above this downtrending line. So let's see what happens. We're still in a squeeze, as you see here, so a violent move is possible, and I hope that it moves up. Based on the indicators that I see in front of me, it should move up to probably the 104.96 area, and then we'll discuss it when it gets there. Okay, we do have now a 1 minute candle that is green. It's moving up. It is above our downtrending line. So that's the first good sign that we had since this trend line was drawn. Now we need another up candle. There we go. There we go. You see what I mean? Look at that move. Okay. So you have a nice move. The next candle should be a green candle, and we want it now. It's at resistance, but we want it to push through. And if it pushes through this 104.96, it will be at a new high for the day. If it gets through, what we normally do, we wait for price to go up. It will retrace to the area where it broke out, and then it turns around and moves up again into the close. So it hit resistance here at the 104.96. That's the high for the day. And once again, we're going to have a tug of war between the buyers and the sellers. And we need that price not only to get above the 104.96, but also we need it to close. In other words, start another green bar above it. There you not yet. I'm getting excited as it moves up, and then of course see the sellers jump in. Okay, so now we're starting another green bar right there at the breakout point, and unfortunately the buyers are having problems with the sellers. The sellers are moving in again. So this time price could come back down, but this downtrending line here could become support if price gets all the way back down here. So I'm going to pause it again and we'll see what happens. As you see, now I changed it to a 5-minute chart. Price is at that resistance level. The resistance is based upon the high of the day, which is 104.95, 104.96. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to end this video here because it's going on 20 minutes. But you did have an idea of what the price action is on a chart. I still anticipate a breakthrough of the 104.96 or 104.95 yet today. Once again, we're coming down on our squeeze indicator. We're not in a squeeze right now, but these lines are getting shorter. We're at the dark blue lines, and we need this to turn light blue as it moves up. So I don't think, well, maybe later today I'll put on the finale of the day just to see if I'm right or wrong. But we're at 105 right now and pushing through or trying to push through. But once again, whenever you're at a resistance area like we have right here, this high, there's a big fight going on between the buyers and sellers. Now it's possible that price could pull back part of the way, maybe to 104.80 before it reverses and then breaks through. Um, a, a breakthrough moving up, I anticipate later in the day. Of course, there's no guarantees. I could be 100% wrong. But so far, the stock, has been very powerful. It pulled back and then it moved up again. And here it failed to break through the high for the day. So we're coming up. This is the first test of the day to break through. This is the second test. One of the things that most day traders look for, they look for the third test. Usually the third test it will push through. Once again, no guarantees. So if you may want to check either later today or check your own chart to see if Alibaba broke through the 104.86 area later today in case I don't get a video up. But anyway, that's my golly, that's long enough, 21 minutes. Sorry, but if you like this, if you want to get more insight into day trading, if you like to hear what the thought pattern is and what's going on in my mind doing some of these day trades, I'd be happy to put up some more videos. Just leave a comment on the blog where you see this posted and let me know that you would like more videos on some day trading. I'm doing this with my daughter Cindy, not to turn her into a day trader, but so she understands the logic of the trend lines of the high for the day, this rainbow indicator. I'll be explaining that also in a future video at investorshelp.net. But anyway, that's enough. My gosh. You all have a great day. This is Trader Joe from investorshelp.net saying so long for now. Just as I was saying so long, I noticed this baby broke through. So I don't know. Do you want to watch it for a few more minutes? Let me put it. We're on pan. So what I'm going to do is, just out of curiosity, I'm going to pull it down here so you can see better and see what's going on here. So a lot of your day traders will sell at 127.2 because, as you see, price came very close to it. And a lot of people, especially some of your day traders, they had their sell order in right there. So as soon as price popped through the high of the day, they had sell orders in to sell it at near that 127.2%. And that's why, as you saw, price immediately pulled back. It hit, went up, and immediately pulled back. So it'll be fun to watch, and of course it's more money in my pocket if that thing, if the price action continues to move up. But anyway, this time I'm going to end this video. You guys have a great day. Hopefully you're in Alibaba from earlier today, so you too made a bundle of money. You take care. Bye now.